Hi, welcome to my video on find the equation of ellipse in standard form given a combination of the vertices, co-vertices, foci, length of the axes, major and minor, and the eccentricity. We did a similar video before, but the center was 0, 0. Now the center is going to be a point out in the quadrant, h, comma, k. So find the equation of ellipse in standard form. And the standard form is x minus h all squared over a squared plus y minus k all squared over b squared equals 1. So before we had just an x squared and a y squared, but the center is 0, 0. Now the center is h comma k, which is the opposite of, so if this is x minus 4, then h is 4. This is x plus 4, then h is negative 4. Number 1, the vertices of the ellipse are negative 3, 2, 7, 2. The foci are negative 2, 2, and 6, 2. What I like to do again is draw a picture, and that helps me keep it in line. The vertices are negative 3 and 2, so let's say it's there. 7, 2, let's go over here and just estimate. Don't have to be exact, 7, 2. So that's vertex 1 and that's vertex 2. So the vertices, the center of the ellipse is the midpoint of the vertices. So we take the vertices and go this midpoint, or the center, whatever you want to call it, midpoint. Then the midpoint is x1 plus x2, so it's a negative 3 plus 7 divided by 2, and it's 2 plus 2 divided by 2. So the midpoint, which we're going to call the center, is 4 divided by 2 is 2, and 2 plus 2 is 4, 4 divided by 2 is 2, so the center is 2, 2. So that means we have an equation that's x minus 2 all squared, y minus 2 all squared equals 1. So we have to get the a to make this an a squared. We have to get the b to make this a b squared. So what happens is that we have the distance, as you can see, well, I got to say as you can see, but I got to be careful. So this is 7, 2. So the distance from here to here, that's a 7. And this is a negative 3, so that's a 10 difference. So the center is right here at 2, 2. So that means if you have 2a, which is the length of the vertices are on the major axis, so the length of the length of the major axis is 10, because it's 7 and 3 is 10. So a is 5. So it makes sense that from here to here, from 2 to 7 is 5, from 2 to negative 3 is 5. So a is 5. So this is a squared, so this is a 25. So now we need the b. We have the foci, so the midpoint of the foci would be the same, 2, 2. So if we take negative 2 and 6 and add them up, we get 4 divided by 2 is 2. 2 plus 2 is 4 divided by 2 is 2. So the center of the foci, the middle of the foci is the center of the ellipse. The middle of the vertices is the center of the ellipse, because the vertices and the foci lie on the major axes. So that means we have to go with, to get the c, so c squared. So because this is a major, that means it's going to be an a squared minus a b squared. So c is the length of c. So let's put the foci in. The foci are at negative 2 comma 2 and 6, 2. 6, 2. So the distance from a 6 to a negative 2 is 8. So that means that 2c is 8. That means c is 4. So as you can see, from 2 to 6, from the center to the foci, is 4 units, and go this way is 4 units. From 2 to negative 2 is 4. From 2 to 6 is 4. So c is 4. So C is 4 and A is 5. That means we're able to find what B is. So B squared is 25 minus 16. But the B squared over made it plus. 25 subtract 16. So B squared is 9. So B is plus or minus the square root of 9 plus or minus 3. So B is 3. So B is 3. So B squared is 9. So there's the equation that represents number 1. Number 2, we got co-vertices of negative 7, 3 and 5, 3, and PF1 plus PF2 is 20. Let's see. Again, draw a picture. Let's see what we have. The co-vertices are x is a negative 7. X is a negative 7. Let's say it's right here. Negative 7, 3. So let's say that's negative 7, 3 there. And, negative 7, 3. Yes, sure. Negative 7, 3 is down here. And 5, 3. X is 5. And y is 3. So let's say that's right here. So 5, there's negative 5. So there's 5, 3. Sorry about that error here, that's wrong. X is negative 7. And X is 5. And negative 3 is right here. So there's the co-vertices right there. And the co-vertices are horizontal, so that's the A. So that means the A is the center. Let's get the center of this one. So the midpoint is the center. So we can quickly add these up. Negative 2 divided by 2 is negative 1. Excuse me. 3 and 3. 3 is in the middle because it's the same number. So the center is negative 1, 3. The equation is x plus 1 squared, add on y minus 3 squared. So we need the A and the B. So we have, this is the co-vertices, so that's the A value. So between 5 and a negative 7, between 5 and negative 7 is 12. So the center is negative 1, 3. So negative 1, 3 is right here. So from negative 1 to 5 is 6. From negative 1 to negative 7 is 6. So that means that A is 6. So A squared is 36. Now we need the B. So PF1. So if that's the horizontal, so PF1 plus PF2 is 20. So that means we know that PF1 plus PF2 is either 2A or 2B. So this is the length of the major. So if this is the minor axis, because the co-vertices lie on the minor, that's the major. So that's the major is vertical, so that's a 2B. So that means that 2B is equal to 20, so B is 10. So that means that B squared is 100. So we have found the equation that represents these co-vertices, and the length of the major is 20, so half of it is 10, and 10 squared is 100. And that's a B 36 squared, 6 squared 36 with the center. Okay, let's do a couple more. Number 3, the eccentricity is 4/5, and the foci lie at 0, negative 10, and 0, 14. 0, negative 10. Again, draw a picture. Always good to draw a picture of what's happening. The foci are at 0, x is 0, negative 10. So let's make this is 0, negative 10 here. 0, negative 10. And the other foci is at 0, 14. So let's go higher. Let's pretend it's up here. Not worried about the exact location, just approximations. So 0, negative 10, 0, 14. So that means that the center, let's get this center again. Let's get the midpoint. Let's get the midpoint off the foci, because the midpoint of the foci is the center. So, very quickly, we take 0, add on 0, divided by 0 is 0, so there's no change. Negative 10, add on 14 is 4, divided by 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2. So, the midpoint of the foci is the center of the ellipse, so the center is 0, 2. So, we plot 0, 2. Let's pretend is right there. So, if that's foci 1, and that's foci 2, and this is the center, notice that the C value is from 14 to negative 10 is 24. So that means that 2C is 24, C is 12. So from the center, from 14 to 2 is 12, from 2 to negative 10 is 12, so C is 12. So we have C. Now, how do we get the equation? We have the center, so let's put x is 0, so that's x minus 0 squared. Y is 2, the k is 2, so it's y minus 2 squared equals 1. So again, we need the a and the b to get the equation, but we don't have an a and a b. We only have the c. But the eccentricity is 4/5. And the eccentricity is the c over the a or the c over the b. And c is the foci distance, so that's a 4. Foci distance is 12. And again, the foci lie on the major axis, which is the y, so that's a c over the b. So that means that c is 12, so that means that's 12 over b. Therefore, 12 over b is equal to 4 over 12. So 4b is 60, so b is 15. So that means that b squared is 225. So we have the b. Now, we got to go on. So that's b squared. So there's b squared is 225. And we need the a. So we know that c squared is either a squared minus b squared or b squared minus a squared. Since the major axis is the vertical, it's b squared minus a squared. So c is 12, so that's 12 squared. B is 15, so that's 15 squared minus a squared. So a squared is 15 squared is 225. 12 squared is 144. So that means that a squared is 81. 225 minus 144. So a is plus or minus 9. So a squared is 81. I didn't need a. Well, what it means that if you have it, that the vertices, the foci are here, and I can go and get the vertices. The vertices are further away because they're 15, so the vertices are up here at 0, 15, and down here at 0, 15. Vertices are 15 from the center, so that's 12, add on 15, so that's 17, 0, 17, and add on 15 here, you get negative 13. So there's the vertices, one there and one there, because we have to take the center and add on 15 to go up, so that's 0 and 17, and this is 15 down from 2 is negative 13. And the co-vertices are on the co-vertices have B. Co-vertices are right here. The co-vertices have the A because it's horizontal. So we add on 9 here. We get this one here is 9, 2, and this one right here is negative 9, 2. So A is on the horizontal, so the ellipse goes very like that, just rough sketch. So we need to put a here, so a squared, so that's the 81. So the answer could be x minus 0 squared is just x squared. Got to be careful. It can be confusing. You got to be careful. So I found the C by getting the how far the foci are from the center, and use the eccentricity to get the value of B, and then use this Pythagorean property. Hypotenuse is the legs. It's something like a hypotenuse. C squared is B squared minus A squared to get the A. A is with the X, and B is with the Y. Okay, that one is done. Let's do one more. Again, we have a center of 2, 3, negative 2, vertices of negative 1, negative 2, foci of 3 plus root 10, comma, negative 2. So, let's see what we have here. Let's see what we have. Center is 3, negative 2. So, there's the center. 3, negative 2. Vertices. Vertex. One of the vertex is x is negative 1, negative 2. So that's a vertex. Let's call it right there. So this is negative 1, negative 2. And the foci is at 3 plus root 10. So 3, there's a 3 plus root 10. So root 10 is roughly a 3. So that's about a 6, a little bit more than 6. So the foci is right here. Let's call that F1. Remember, this is the center. So this is 3 plus root 10, comma, negative 2. Notice all the values of y are negative 2. So the vertices are on the major axis. The foci are on the major axis. So that means if this is the center and to here, so that's the A value right there. So from 3 to negative 1 is 4. So that means A is 4. And from the center to the foci, there's your foci, that's a 3, and it's 3 plus root 10. That means it must be a root 10 is the C value. So the C value is root 10. And the center, well, we found out the center given to us. So we got C and A, but we don't have B. So we have C squared is, and again, this is the major axis, which is the X. So it's got this the A. So it's an A squared minus the B squared. So C is root 10. A is 4. B squared. So B squared, move it to the right side, is 16 minus root 10 squared is 10. So B squared is 6. So B is plus or minus root 6. But we need the equation as, let's see, it's an x minus h. So that's a 3. So it's an x minus 3 squared. And that's a negative 2, so it's y subtract negative 2 is y plus 2. Again, that's a 3, that's a minus 3, that's a negative 2, that's a plus 2. And this is a squared, and a squared is a is 4. So a squared is 4 squared is 16. And this is b squared, and b squared is 6. B is plus or minus root 6, but root 6, b squared is 6. B is plus root 6, plus or minus. So there's the b squared. So this is the equation that represents this ellipse. And b is root 6. Center, root 6 is what? A little bit more than 2. So the center is right here. Root 6 is, let's say 2 point something. So this is a 3, and negative 2 plus root 6 if you wanted the co-vertices. So down here would be 3, same distance, and it would be negative 2 minus root 6. So these are the co-vertices, COV1 and COV2. And so if you take, this is 4 here, and this is 4 here. So 3 add on 4, so that's a 7, negative 2. So there she goes. There she goes. Just drew the ellipse. This is vertex 1, and this one right here is, this one is vertex 2. And that's foci 1, so I could put foci 2 here if I want. But so the other foci would be 3 minus root 10, so that would be 3 subtract root 10, negative 2. So just more questions on working out the finding the equations from given information. Hopefully you like my video. Click the like button. If you want to subscribe to my channel, click the subscribe button. Visit my website www.mathfullyexplained.com to find more information about me, my videos, and the content. That's the content on my YouTube channel called Math Fully Explained, which is, notice, just one word. Thank you for viewing my video. Hope the video helped you. Bye-bye.